Hey, hello. It is the Go Birds podcast. Eliot Shorr-Parks, James Seltzer with you. We are officially, through a week and a half,
5 practices.
Wow.
Yeah. So a week and
like a week and a half of time. Of
it's been
time.
a week.
It's been a week, right? Because they report on Tuesday. So Wednesday was the last.
Wednesday of last week.
So we are a
was the
week
first
from
Wow. Time flies
It's
when you're having fun.
amazing.
Time flies when you're having
How
fun.
you feeling? How you doing? You got
Good.
a sweet kit on today?
Thank you. Well, it's all I wear. You
Little
know?
USA.
It is my month.
Well, I know,
for the
buddy,
kids.
trust me.
Yeah.
It's your life.
I know.
I would say, I don't see you every day, but I do see you. I would probably say like 4 days a week or
Easily,
so between
yeah.
me and out. Like I would say 3 of those you're wearing a kit.
Well, here's the thing. It's fun. Like, so I actually think about what Sam Hinkie said once, where he owned like, I think it was 20 blue suits, because then he just knew he'd put the same one on every day, and you don't think about it. It's
like the Homer Simpson thing, where they show.
Yeah, well,
like
he's a
the same-
cartoon.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's the joke. It's always the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
He
is a cartoon. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
didn't realize.
Do you know?
Tucker, did you know Homer Simpson's a cartoon?
So
Oh
I
my
actually
God,
watched
I'm
an
floored.
episode.
I just thought he had jaundice.
Yeah. Wow. Look at that.
The 4 fingers. I just thought.
I know.
It was just,
The hair.
Yeah.
I actually watched an episode of Simpsons recently.
Good for you.
Good.
It's great.
It's good.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
New King of the Hill comes out on Monday, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, your love of King of the Hill without actually diving into The Simpsons is crazy.
Well, here's the problem.
I mean,
I've watched
Simpsons
so
is
much
way
King
better.
of the Hill recently. I'm tired of it now.
So watch The Simpsons.
I know. I'm worried
There's
if I
so
do that, I
many
will.
episodes.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. There's like 37 seasons.
I know.
or
Emily and
whatever.
I did them all.
But anyway, what I was
I've
saying
seen,
was,
like over 700 episodes of The Simpsons.
think how much of that time of your life that is.
Well, you know what? I'd rather do that than all the time you put on reality shows. I mean,
Whoa,
how
whoa,
much
whoa.
time have you spent on reality shows in your life? Exactly.
So
hours and hours a day. Like
last night,
I actually do. I feel like a measure of, and to be fair, I'm at a moment where I'm not quite caught up in the most recent episodes. We need to catch up. But like when I do, like I feel a level of pride being able to say I've seen every episode.
so that I will say that is a level. There's a level of cool to that for sure.
No doubt.
Now we did start Bachelor in Paradise last night. 2 hours, no commercials. Like it wasn't even that good, but we watched all full 2 hours. So they're doing. Do you know they did like the Golden Bachelor? Did you hear about?
I
this?
heard it. The old guy Bachelor, right?
Yeah. So they've done a few seasons. They're bringing the older Bachelor people onto Bachelor in Paradise. So there's going to be like a bunch of 20
in Paradise is.
So it's just a bunch of people that were on the show that go to an
And they
island.
go to an island
Yeah,
and,
and it's like
we
whatever.
didn't get enough of them the first
Exactly,
time.
right,
Let's get more of
exactly.
them on an
But this is the crazy thing. So there's going to be a bunch of like 20-year-olds and then a bunch of like 50-year-olds. And in theory, like they could date.
Sure.
I don't think they will.
I mean, it
but-
happens in real life.
No, it does. Agreed.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting to watch on TV.
Sure.
So I'll update you.
Can't wait.
Yeah, I know.
I'm waiting with baby
Also,
back
last thing, and then I'll get to my original
Could
point.
you?
Yeah. They're doing it. They're doing a Love is Blind Philadelphia. I know.
Oh, if only you were single.
If any of us were single,
I know.
Tucker, you still got time.
You could, you're not married
Got
yet.
like 24 days.
Yeah, we could do
That
this.
is crazy. It's that soon.
I know. We got to tell Ava we got to get off.
I know, we
Saturday.
got a plan.
I just thought about it. By the
Well,
way.
Ava's off. But
I know. I didn't want to bug her.
So
We'll
anyway,
be off. Tucker will be at your wedding.
Yeah.
Oh, we might be doing the show from there. I forgot about that.
nah, Mary didn't seem too thrilled with that.
She said that's okay as long as me and her don't have to be a part of it.
Yeah,
See, but that to me is like she doesn't want it.
I agree.
Was my read on
I
it.
It's
think
as
you know,
lukewarm as you can be.
Right, I'd rather ever be super excited. If
You
it's
know what?
lukewarm, it's her
we
day.
can take the day off. It's fine.
Yeah, well,
it's fine.
Tucker's.
I'm sure Emily and Kristen will be happy that we're not working.
100%. We can get there early.
Yeah.
We can pregame
We
the
can hang
wedding.
out.
Yeah,
You-
exactly.
I'm
Get lunch.
chill
yeah.
time. Yeah,
It's on the water too, which
is
is nice.
I can't wait.
Do
Do you
anyway,
think? Hold on, real quick question. Do you think Jack Fritz is going to show up, or will it be too hot?
so well, Jack is already
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Jack's already changed to driving home that night. He's not sleeping over
I know,
anymore.
it's so
I
I know.
I think he'll come, but just
You're already putting it out.
yeah,
there.
like it's easy to slowly maneuver.
we know he bails on.
So
things.
They
should
did
we-
do our seating chart this weekend. So
Are we all on the same table?
I'm
You
sure
are.
we
Table
are.
two.
Assume, yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's all the people.
Yo,
we
no
know at the
lie,
same
2
table.
is my favorite number.
is it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I
it's
knew that. It's
always
your
been.
birthday.
Yeah,
November
it's always
2nd.
been.
I knew that already.
But what's weird is that's not why. Maybe it is subconsciously.
I'm sure you didn't
Yeah.
realize it, but I'm sure it has to do with it. Like, what are the odds that 2 would be your favorite number? Is absolutely nothing to do with
And
your
it's
birthday
today
being
was
on the
born,
second.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's true. Man, what was I about to say?
Something about Jack not showing up.
Oh, do you want to talk about the heat?
Sure.
Because it was hot at practice too. I will say
Yeah.
it was super hot.
Oh yeah. Were you not able to make
No,
it?
I
through
was
pra-
there for the whole.
You
2
stood on
hours.
the sidelines and made it through the whole practice. What a
Didn't
thought.
even sweat. Honestly,
What a thought. Well, you don't sweat much. So.
I actually
It's a
tell you
new
yesterday.
thing
I
for
wonder
you.
if I should go to a doctor. Like I do perspire, to be clear, but not like some of the other beat writers. Like like it was crazy.
I sweat.
Yeah.
I'm more of a sweater in that case. Yeah. So for those who don't know, the Joe versus Jack competition, and we're gonna get to the Eagles in a second. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So very quick.
Because I actually have a super Like, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's super
I
interesting.
can't wait.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on the fact that, tennis competition supposed to be noon yesterday, gets canceled last minute, no less. I'll say what I think. I'm embarrassed as a WIP employee. I do feel a level of embarrassment for people who took off work that day.
I do feel bad for those people.
People are going to come down. People might have had to drive an hour or whatever, and had already left that. Like, who knows what, and then point was made on the air today. It's such a great point. I mean, think about all the people, and Spike said it yesterday, all the people who have to work outside for a living. Like, it's not like they're like, hey boss, too hot today, taking the day off. Like, all these guys had to do was play one set of tennis, and they were worried about people standing there watching, like standing in the, oh no, we're standing in the sun right now.
So I enjoy working out in the heat, so I would have wanted to play.
Yeah, you would have worn your freaking sweatsuit.
Exactly.
Ready to roll.
My literal sweatsuit.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
I would have passed out. But like, so I think they should have played, is my opinion of it. Although it is very funny, and I said this to you earlier when I saw you, that like, we're literally basically willing to risk health over this tennis match. Like in theory, like it's not crazy to say, hey guys, it's pretty hot. Maybe we should do it next week.
For
like
a dumb radio,
no one bought tickets to this.
Has no real implication.
Exactly.
Other than people being able to talk about it on the radio.
Now, again, I do feel very bad for the people.
Me too. Like, because if you took off work, like that sucks.
Well, you know what's crazy? So I was on the sideline of the Eagles practice, and I saw a text from Jack in our group chat. Basically, first he sent like something that said like so disappointing or whatever. And at first I was like, what? Like, did something happen? And then no lie, people started to come up to me and they're like, yo, tennis is canceled.
No way.
Yeah. And I was
real?
like, that's pretty crazy. Yeah. I probably had 4 people come up to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe how many people care about this thing.
It's crazy.
It's the dumbest thing.
And for me personally, I missed baseball. And it seemed
So
like
you
it
were
was
ready.
so awesome.
It
so
was.
I was, it's
Baseball
never
was
going to
awesome.
be baseball again.
Yeah.
Like that was the crescendo.
There is a chance. If Joe wins tennis and then Jack clearly is going to win running, if they're tied 2-2 for basketball, that could be a big thing.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
think that actually because it can be indoors. It could be like,
I was going to say indoors.
I think basketball could be like, if they're tied 2-2, basketball has a chance to like have 1,000 people.
Well, the other thing I kept thinking yesterday was, if only there was a way to play sports in a
Indoor.
climate-controlled environment where weather
did.
didn't impact it. Maybe one day we'll have the technology for this.
All right, let's get to the Eagles because
All right.
I'm sure there are a lot of people who are like,
Man, I had a
don't
haircut
care.
take for you.
Oh, okay. We'll go with that first. I'm getting a haircut today at 2:30.
That's why, yeah.
Yeah.
So
As I led to you, less nap time for me.
Right.
Nap,
exactly.
haircut. Before I pick up Zoe, so it is what it is.
So this would be hard
I'm
for
a
you.
champ. I just power through. I never complain.
You never do. Never hear about
Never
it.
mention it.
Never mention
Nope.
it. So this cannot apply for you because you wake up early.
Mm-hmm.
But I've started to get my haircut at like 7 a.m.
Really?
It's kind of nice.
So I didn't know that haircuts open that early.
So
it makes sense.
At the gym I go to, they have a hair salon like in there you can go. And
so that makes sense.
So it's easier in that way. But when I first started going, I saw they were open at 6 a.m. I'm like, who in the world would get the haircut? It's kind of nice.
Okay.
You start your day, you feel fresh.
So
Just some advice to people out there.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't care about the feeling fresh part. We're different in that way.
Yeah, I care a lot about
I know.
Yeah.
We're very different. But I do, I had a choice and I made it a week out and I assumed we might have a pod today. So that's why I didn't do it.
Right.
But when I could do it at 10, I'd much rather go right after my show at 10:30,
Agreed.
get it done than have to, but it is what it is.
I definitely, once I'm in the house, I'm not into leaving.
Yeah.
again.
And I have to get Zoe anyway, but it's still, anyway.
All right.
Socks and Birds. You said you got a
Philadelphia Eagles.
You got a fire take.
Yeah. So being at practice all 5 days, I've definitely noticed they are using Saquon a ton. He has 31 touches through 5 practices.
Wow.
So I went back and I looked. Last year, now this is over the whole camp. This is not the first 5 days. Last year, Saquon averaged around 3.5 touches per practice. That includes catches, but the majority of those are runs. This year, he's averaging over 6 touches per practice. Now, again, we can add all the caveats. It's 5 days, blah, blah, blah. I would have thought he would touch it less.
Yeah, I would have thought he might be like the Jalen Carter thing where they're like, we're just giving him the day. It's hot out today.
And
Saquon, take a day.
Not only is he touching it more, if I want to use math that supports my point, he's almost touching it twice as much, right? And not only that, his touches have been very physical. Yesterday, Reed Blankenship threw him to the ground. He is getting outright tackled on some of these things.
What is going on?
So here's what I think we need to maybe think about. I think he's going to touch it a ton this year. This idea they're going to take a step back with him, I think might just be dead wrong. I think they might try to run it into a wall for a few weeks and see how, obviously if they're, like we saw in the Super Bowl, they will throw it. I get all that. But maybe this idea.
Quick, you did also say, though, they have thrown more in practice, too.
They have.
So that's interesting. It's so obviously more reps in general.
Yes, right.
But still, more throws. It wasn't that many more throws.
It was 1 or 2.
Yeah, I think it was 4 more, but it was extra reps.
Now it's a little more
the
now.
Saquon thing feels more mathematically important.
Well,
so to
even if you
speak.
remove the training camp stats part of it, like he's touching it a ton through 5 practices. Like even if I wasn't tracking and I just wanted to be vague and not as informative, I could say he's touched it a lot in 5 practices. He's touched it way more than I expected. I honestly thought it would be like you were saying, the Jalen Carter thing, where I'm watching practice and it's like, oh, Saquon's not practicing today because he has like a sore whatever, right? And just getting him to week 1. That has not been the case. The first day of practice, he touched it a ton on the first day. Yesterday, first day of pads, he touched it a ton. So I've just been very surprised that they're not taking it easy with him. And Kevin Patullo this week talked and said that the foundation, essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but the foundation of Eagles football is running the football.
He did say that, yeah.
Right? So maybe they are. We literally, how many times we talked about this offseason?
Mm-hmm.
How many times are you going to touch it? What can be expected? Maybe it's not that complicated. Maybe they just gave him $40 million and they're going to be like, guess what, buddy?
Where
Like,
you're
running the ball
ground
a lot. And I think we maybe need to wrap our head, like, not a big fantasy football guy, but from a fantasy football perspective, because I think that's a good way to view this. I would imagine he'll get docked this year because people will be like, coming off a big year, blah, blah, blah. And it makes sense. He could get hurt. Knock on wood. Hopefully he doesn't. But I don't think the Eagles are going to go into the year and be like, he's going to touch it 12 times week 1 because seems like they're just going to use him.
So let's get into this. Let's kind of break this down. The whether this is smart or not. Because look, I think on a basic level, if you say just flat out, forgetting everything else and say, yeah, they're going to give their best offensive player the ball.
Right.
It's like, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I get it. You should. He's awesome. And if you talk about what you just said, like, hey, we've got him essentially for 2 more years. Who knows what happens past that? We've got him 2 more years where he's, not getting into his 30s and not, we've got him 2 more years here where we've already paid him. He's here. Like, let's use the hell out of him those 2 years. Like, I get that too. My question to you is like, do you think this is smart? Like, do you think they should be more worried about Saquon's health over the course of this year? Now, look, I will say with the overall caveat, they know Saquon better than we do. They know what his body can do. They know how he feels, all that stuff. But just based off the history of this, and you would point out there are guys who are able to do those types of seasons. Derrick Henry's done it recently, but there is a lot of evidence that it takes a toll on these guys. And especially with Saquon, someone who's never had that big a workload in a season before, never has not really been able to make it healthy through the first 7 years of his career consistently.
Yeah.
Where you at? Like, what's the Eliot Shorr-Parks take on if they do go this way? Is it smart?
So I have a ton of thoughts on it. I mean, my basic thought would be the dude's special. He's special right now. You have a special offensive line. Just go. Like, don't overthink this. The Eagles have a running attack that almost nobody can stop. And when teams do try to stop it, they can throw the ball. So that's the other caveat with this. I'm not saying run it into a wall because they can't throw the ball. I think they can throw the ball. And you say give Saquon the ball because he's their best offensive player. Like, yeah, he is for sure. But we both know they also have a ton of talent in the passing game, right? So it's not like
AJ Brown would be most teams' best offensive player.
Correct. Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert's had an awesome camp so far. So there's reason to throw the ball as well. But ultimately, if you have the best offensive line in football, the best running back in football, and a quarterback that is a top 2 running quarterback, like him, Lamar, and then Josh Allen would be up there. But in terms of how much he helps the running game, maybe it's not that complicated. It's way easier to hand the ball to Saquon than it is to throw it to AJ. It is like you just literally hand it to him and he's good to go. So
it's safer.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. You kill time, like all those things. So I am team give the ball to Saquon because, and I've tried to say this a bunch of times, I truly don't mean
You've been saying this for a while. Before we had this conversation, you was like a month and a half ago. You're like, hey, I've been thinking about this. Like,
I don't want to sound heartless.
Run him into the ground.
Yeah. Like,
that's the position.
I think that gets viewed sometimes as anti-Saquon. But if Saquon has 2,000 yards again this year, but it's also pro Saquon in the way that he's special now. Like if Saquon wants to make,
he won't be as special in 3 years.
Correct.
As he is now.
He is at his physical prime right now, arguably. Right. And if he gets 2,000 yards again this year, like that's probably it. Like he's in the Hall of Fame. If you get back-to-back 2,000 yards and win a Super Bowl and you're super talented, like you're probably in or
probably, I don't know how,
there's a uniqueness to that. Like 4,000 yards in 2 years. He would hold the record
if he wasn't done and keep adding yards, he gets 10,000, 11,000, 12,000.
Right. But I would just give the ball to Saquon. And also baked into this is I don't feel a need to prove they can throw the ball. Like I think
I don't either.
Right? Like I believe
I would like to shut some people up.
For sure. It would be fun
some
if
people have maybe been mentioned in this pod before earlier in the pod.
It would be fun if he
come
threw.
Up. Love to shut him up.
Yes. Now
Big time.
we'll see
Would
how
love to
Mary.
not have to.
Yeah,
Yes.
Mary. Yes.
Mary's always talking crap
know,
when it hurts.
yeah.
And I keep saying, Mary, open your eyes.
If I had $1 for every time she texted me Cam Newton was right, I would.
Uh,
Tucker's wedding gift will be way bigger than it's gonna be. But like,
that was really good.
thank you, I appreciate
Really
that.
good.
But I mean, like, just give
Shout
him
out
the
to Mary,
ball.
by the way. She does love Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
Don't
right.
worry.
We're kidding.
Don't worry.
We're kidding. But
Tucker just,
She's a Giants fan.
yeah, I know.
she's a Giants
Yeah,
fan.
oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Tucker just like, nope, she doesn't.
Wow, interesting. Is she like a big Giants fan, or she's like super into the team?
Was
Her
her
dad's a
family,
big
right? Yeah,
Giants
he's
fan.
talked about this before. You
Okay.
just don't listen to him.
Nah, I forget. I mean, it had to have been years since you
No,
talked.
I'm
about
joking.
this.
It's,
okay.
you don't. Mary's football allegiance, I don't think is top of mind for you. I
Okay.
get it. It's okay.
So the other thing I would say with Saquon is like, when you gave him that contract, it is time to get the best out of him. So just from watching, and also he looks awesome in camp. Like, he doesn't look slow. He doesn't look different. So I don't know. I think I'm team just give him the ball.
So I have been I'm very much in the if he can handle it, give it to him type of
Yeah.
thing. I think a lot of times teams have to save players from themselves. I think Saquon's always going to say, yeah, I'm good. Give me the ball. Yeah, I'm good. Give me the
Right.
ball. And I think that part of a coaching staff's job, part of an organization's job is to protect their players at times, to keep them from pushing too far, from hurting themselves, from, if they do have an injury, to keep them away from playing, all that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
I do think that's an important part of an organization, of all these guys' jobs. Now, I totally agree with everything you said. Like, I can't argue with a single, like, physical prime. You've got him for a few years. He's your best player. Like,
Right.
use it. So I'm conflicted on this from the sense of they know better than me, so I have to trust them to a certain point how they'll use Saquon. But I am conflicted in the sense that I do know that, like, there is a increased chance of injury or diminished ability in Saquon this season,
For sure.
based on last year. So it is I don't think it could be just as simple as Saquon's a freak. We know he is, and we're good, and we go. But it also might not be, and that's where the
right.
conundrum
So
exists.
the other thing, and far be it from me to compare the Eagles to the Sixers, but like last year, I thought one of the Sixers' many problems, one of their many problems was they went into the year being like, well, we'll go to the playoffs. Everybody take it easy until then.
Mhm.
I think that it's partially coach speak, but it's also true. Like, Nick's job is to win every week. And let's not act like the Eagles, while they're very good, it's not a lock they're going to be the one
They have
seed.
a hard schedule.
Yeah, they have a hard schedule. Every win is ultra important,
They have to
especially in
play
the
into
NFL.
February, all that.
So while I do get I think you are correct in saying, ultimately we want Saquon at his best in the playoffs as opposed to week one.
Exactly.
But week one is ultra important. Week two, not as important because it's AFC, but still a game they need to
I know
win.
what you mean.
And so I also
It's hard to play. Your point is, it's hard to play that balancing act between saying, like,
right.
well, we're not going to worry about this game, but then we'll worry about that one and this
Right,
one.
and
When, like, at
and
the end
being
of the day, you can miss a 1 seed by one game, and that could be the reason you don't make the Super Bowl.
Correct. But also not just the physical on the field and standings part of it. I think that one of the things that was wrong with the Sixers last year was they went into the year basically being like, we'll play when we can, and blah,
One
blah,
of
blah.
many things.
Yeah, one of many.
Yeah.
But I do
think
think
comparing the Eagles, like, honestly,
No,
like,
no, but I
every
just mean
time, I get it. I
yeah.
get it. The organizational
the
philosophy,
mentality of a team.
It's just, honestly, it's like hard
I
to
know.
take the point
I
seriously.
agree. I agree.
You know, honestly.
I agree. The
But
Sixers.
I know what you mean,
Yeah.
but it's hard to take the point seriously because
Yes.
it's like that. One is a professional organization, the other is a joke.
Right.
You know?
But we did just see it. So that's why it's in my head.
I get it.
I don't know if it's smart to tell Saquon, hey, like, you're only
Take
gonna
it easy.
you're only
big
gonna
dog.
touch it 13 times in week one, but don't worry, in week 18, if we need it, like, you'll get it 30
Mhm.
times. Because that's so far away. So many things could happen. So you could almost convince me for them to touch it less in practice, like maybe rest him up until week one,
Yeah.
but it's pretty clear they're using him a ton. So I like the strategy, but I'm just very surprised to see
Okay,
it.
so I have another question off of this, and we're gonna bounce around practice too.
Because I have
what
another running back.
Elliot saw the last couple of days since we last talked, but I have one more question related to this Saquon thing that I think is a really good question that I'm fascinated
I
to
hope.
get your
You're
answer on.
hyping it up.
Yeah, but first, dude, we just talked about it with the cancellation
A
of
little
tennis.
hot.
The summer humidity is out. So you walk outside and it's like you're walking
Well,
through
my
like
glasses fog.
a wall of
Yeah.
heat. It is unbelievable. If you have the AC blasting, fans going, shades drawn, the heat still's finding a way in your house, especially the upper levels of your house. It gets like real.
Dude,
right?
it's crazy.
It's crazy. Like, it's really
It's
hard.
really true heat rises.
It-
say what you want.
I know there are a lot of people out there saying heat don't rise.
I know, like it's just an expression. Like it is heat straight up rises.
Science, science. But that's the thing is, and you notice it in your house, and when the heat's finding its way in, it might be time to check those windows, Elliot.
James, I know exactly what you mean. I agree with you. And we've heard from people who are so grateful they replace their drafty windows from Window Nation, because Window Nation, energy efficient windows. And for everyone else feeling that heat seep in, now's the time to do it. And you can get 50% off all window styles, plus 0% interest for 5 whole years and no interest until 2030.
Yeah, 0 interest until 2030 is an absurd. It's incredible. Like, I can't believe it every time we say it.
I want to buy new windows.
Me too. Honestly, I would buy pretty much anything.
Literally.
It's like, oh, sure. Okay, great. But this is something you actually need. And installation, it only takes 1 day, which makes upgrading your home so much easier, even with a busy schedule. Plus, Window Nation has, and Elliot and I are both going to just be very jealous of this number.
Always.
45,000 5-star reviews. So, you can feel safe trusting your
And it really is the biggest deal of the year, running now through July 31st, and do it this month because now is the time to take advantage of it. Plus, when it gets cold, then you're going to want your heat to stay in the house. So don't let this opportunity pass you by. Call 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com for your free quote on energy efficient replacement windows today.
Tell them Go Bird sent you. Helps out.
Yeah.
Really nice.
By the way, we got a review. We actually got 2 reviews, people talking about the best day of the week take.
Oh,
yeah. And people
agree or
Tuesday
disagree?
is the worst. Yeah.
Oh, they agreed.
Yeah, it's clearly the worst.
Thank you.
I do think it's one of those things where you can initially go, oh, maybe, and then it's like, no.
Yeah, it just is.
Obviously,
yeah.
You could debate Sunday, but you're not even working Sunday.
Yeah, it's not. Well, especially not during. That's the thing. Sunday is the toughest one because half the year Sunday sucks. Half the year it's freaking awesome.
Amazing. Yeah, it's true.
So it's like you can't put it that low because you do get that half a year where Sunday's one of the best days of the week. So.
Also, I think you would rather not have to go to work and think about having to go.
Yeah. I think Monday's worse than Sunday no matter what because of that. Yeah. Okay. Here's my question for you. And I think it's a pretty good one. If we're talking about the Saquon thing, and I agree with everything you've said, and especially the evidence from practice so far, like they absolutely could just come out and be like, we paid him. He's awesome. He's the best running back in football. Right. We're going to use him. 2 names I'm going to throw at you.
Okay.
Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown. We have heard already a lot of this camp. And look, Jalen, he showed up, put his ego in check. Like he did it last year. We know. But he has spent a whole offseason hearing people not give him credit for winning the Super Bowl, really, not give him any sort of due. He's like 9th on list, 10th, all this type. Like, Jalen wants to go out and show people how great he is this year.
Yeah.
And same thing with AJ Brown. AJ's even talked about it. Like, AJ's kind of been like, I'm the best. I want to be the best. That vibe from him. And another guy who like should be first team all-pro. I'm not even getting into Devontae,
I know,
but I'm just saying but all of it. But the idea of these guys, again, saying, no problem. We're going to chuck it in the backseat. Go get him, Saquon. Like, I know they want to win, and I think they do. But I do think it's not even that, like, that they want to do what's best to win. But I think Jalen and AJ believe throwing the ball could be the best to win, too. How do you think that plays out? How do you think Nick handles that? And because if it's another year of that same thing of, like, Saquon crushing it, like, I do think we already saw it come up last year. It was an issue last year, and they fixed it out, and they helped them win the Super Bowl and the whole thing. But, like, I just worry about that cropping up again.
Yeah. I mean, I do think there's part of AJ and Devontae, and they haven't told me this, but I'm just guessing, where it's like we could do 1 year of Saquon being the guy and his picture getting hung up in frames in the locker room and all that. I think it's tougher to do that because the other thing they're facing this year is they're probably not going to win 16 of 17 games or whatever it is. They're just probably not. So they're going
way harder.
Yeah, and it's just really hard to do. So there's just more there's more space for tension, right? I think twofold. One, we probably don't give Jalen enough credit for how selfless he was.
100%.
I mean, he's the dude that calls most of the plays at the line and decides. He could change it to his number quite a bit, but he doesn't. Even on that clip of the Super Bowl, right, where he's talking about he wants to run the score up more. He goes to Saquon and he's like, I forget the exact phrasing, but like I was gonna call this running play. Like I was getting ready to give it to you. So first, I think Jalen deserves credit for, while maybe privately he's like hates the not throwing it a tot, he certainly doesn't let it impact him on the field. And that is worth mentioning. I don't know what to do about it. Like, because
that's why I bring it up. Because
you just got to hope they're cool with it. I don't think you can.
Or that what you potentially do about it is you throw more and you run less. Like, you
could
use both, you know what I mean? But you have to win games and what's best for winning. But I do think that is one of the like, obviously you want to keep Saquon healthy and all that. But I do think another counter to it, and also the idea of like mixing it up and not doing
Right.
exactly what you did last year.
And honestly, the defense will dictate a lot of this too.
So the defense, of course.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a fascinating situation, especially with, and again, we think Brandon Graham kind of coming out and doing that whole thing, like actually helped them come together and fix it. Who knows?
Yeah.
But the point is, like, it happened. Like that happened. That thing happened. Like,
no, I agree. I mean, I think I often like defend the emotional part of athletes where like, but I just don't know if you can let that seep in. Maybe you just have to realistically, and I'm being naive, but I don't think you can go into a game. I mean, they did it against Pittsburgh, right? Where it's like, we have to throw the ball because it's a big deal, and it worked. And I think they can throw the ball and be successful.
I agree. You have to play the game that's in front of
you.
you.
But I don't think we can be like, they were selfless last year and now be like, well, this is the year to be selfish.
I think, and look, if we're talking about the game that's coming to them, like, I think it's far more likely the teams come in to stop Saquon.
100%.
So I think this could work itself out.
Yeah.
Naturally,
right?
As it
and
were.
the Saquon thing too. They could go into the year being like, "We're going to give him 25."
And then it is what it
is,
and like Saquon, if it's not there, it's not there. So I think it's going to be a fascinating storyline all season long.
So all right, we're obviously this is a Jalen safe space. We're deep into a pod. Do you ever think like, what if they try to throw the ball again like they did last year and it just doesn't work out? I think they'll be able to do it, but I
honestly don't. Like, I mean, it's possible, of course, but like I expect it to work. Like, I get it. I just don't think about it. Like, I really think it'll work. Like, I think that with Jalen, AJ, Devontae,
the Super Bowl
Goddard,
awesome.
and that line, Saquon, like, I think they're good at it. Like, I think they're going to be able to throw the ball on teams. So I sure that could happen.
I
don't
agree.
really think about it.
And I overreact to practice more than you do. And I'm not even overreacting. I know, I'm
worry.
not even overreacting to it. But it has been actually 3 straight days where I don't think
All right, so let's bounce around. Let's get into practice
awesome.
And start with Jalen then before we get to final thoughts.
Yeah, so
it's been one practice since Monday we last talked, obviously.
Yeah, we talked after practice Monday.
So
they
it's just Tuesday. Okay,
yeah.
So what happened yesterday?
So yesterday, I thought the defense won the day again. They did a lot of red zone drills, a lot of drills inside the 30. They did a lot of like, it's 1st and 10. If you get 2 yards, it's 2nd and 8, which they don't really do a lot in practice. I know it sounds simplistic, but they really don't often do like move the ball as it goes. And the defense just won. Like the defense so the offense ran inside the 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plays. They got to a 4th and 3. I thought he was basically sacked on the play, but they let him continue. He had a short completion to Will Shipley. So they got a fresh set of downs. They ran it with Will Shipley. He got nowhere. They had an incomplete pass to Anais Smith, and then they pulled the offense off the field. So I asked Jalen after practice about, how he thought the offense looked. And my like Jalen meter was, he said the running game was good. The passing game left stuff on the field. And I agree with that. I think the passing game has not been good. So when I track these passes, I write who they throw it to. I had 2 throws in a 6-play series where he didn't even throw it to anyone. He just threw it away because like there's no one open. And on one hand, I give him a B- yesterday because on one hand, it's like he didn't turn the ball over, and that's super important. And we just talked about Jalen wanting to maybe show he can throw it more. I think it would be easy in practice to just be like I'm
winging it,
like F it, I'm throwing it, right?
Yeah,
and he doesn't, and I like that. I am not team make mistakes in practice.
We make mistakes. Period. We have.
Yes.
We've done this long enough to know that the worst thing Jalen can do is throw an interception.
Yes, 100%.
Single worst thing, or fumble the ball, whatever.
Turn the ball over. Yeah.
Is like they win games when he does it.
1,000%.
So I'm with you. No,
so that's why I gave him a B- and not probably like a C- is probably more what the performance was like. But I give him credit for not throwing an interception. But the passing game has not looked crisp the last 3 days. It just hasn't. And when you're running red zone drills and when you're running drills inside the 30, that's when you should be throwing touchdowns. Like Tanner McKee threw a touchdown. Dorian Thompson-Robinson threw a touchdown. And while Jalen did throw one on the first series, it was, in my opinion, like a kind of a fake touchdown. I gave it to him. It counts. But like there was pressure. It was to a running back. Like, I don't know. It just wasn't, I didn't look at the play and go like, well done. That's a good red zone play. So maybe it's because they're transitioning to Patullo. Maybe it's who knows. The offense in the passing game has not looked good, in my opinion. I mean, he went from 93% in the first 2 days plus the offseason, the 3 practices and OTAs, to now he's down to like 76%, which is still good. Like that's a good percentage for practice. But to go from 93 to 76, think of, I mean, again, 11 of 17. And then the day before he was, low as well. Like they're just not completing a ton of passes when I think they should be completing the passes.
Yeah. You know how I feel.
I know.
And again, especially early in training camp, like I think it takes, especially for passing, it's a lot easier to hand the ball off early in training camp. I think it takes time for timing and passing and stuff. Like I think it just does. So,
now, what's the saying? Is it like the defense catches up to the offense or the offense catches up to the defense?
I think the offense catches up to the defense.
That's what I was thinking.
I could be wrong about that. But
well,
I think
you have to hope that's what's happening here.
Yeah, it's like the hitting usually catches up to the pitching early in a season, stuff like that. No, I'm not concerned now at all.
I'm not concerned either, but it is maybe because I'm watching
I feel like this is what always happens early in training camp. I feel like every year we do this, and then is the defense better than we think, and we get into that, and then the offense picks it up.
Right, I agree. I'm not going down that road. But like,
I think defense is gonna be really good. By the way, I'm not super concerned about the guys they lost. I feel good about the defense.
I feel pretty good about the defense. Like Quignon has been awesome.
Awesome. Cooper, I think is gonna be awesome. Bond's awesome.
Let me ask you a Cooper question. Would you just start him at safety, like end this charade? Like,
I don't know.
Just have him at there. He'd be at the same position all year. I haven't seen him play enough
safety, so I don't really know. Like, I want him to be where he's best.
I do too. I don't know if I love the idea of Keely Ringo and Sidney Brown deciding where Cooper plays.
That's the thing. Yeah, I get that too. Right. I agree. But at the same time, I also do want the best players on the field. So it's like,
well, you got to put Cooper out there in base. So it's a bit of a unique.
My point is yes, like I get it where it's like, I want Cooper where he plays best, but also if Keely's better than Sidney, I want Keely out there. So it's like,
Let me ask you this. Let's say Keely is awesome. Like they feel great about Keely. And it seems Vic, not an Adoree fan.
No. Oh my God, dude. Those comments, like I was shocked.
I thought they were rude.
Also,
and I like
Vic. A shot at Howie too, where he
that
was
hit
like,
me less.
You know what I'm talking about. He's basically like, hey, didn't really have anything to do with this. Like, that's Howie and his guys. I got nothing to do with it.
Look,
he was basically like, wouldn't have signed him if it were me. Like
he's like, I didn't watch him.
That was basically what it's. Yeah, he's like, I didn't watch him, but the way it basically was like, I probably wouldn't have signed him. Was the takeaway I had.
And another layer to this I've heard anybody bring up is not a great process to sign a free agent.
Right? Like talk to Vic. Talk to Vic about the draft picks. Why wouldn't you talk about the free agents?
Right. Like
makes no sense.
Clearly is what happened with Huff. Clearly he wasn't
and that didn't work out.
Cost him $30 million.
Adjust. Like I do think like that is weird.
Yes.
It's weird.
But the other thing is I understand Vic is Vic and he has the resume after winning it. And like,
I don't mind it at all. I think you get more good out of him than bad.
Obviously.
And I'm not just talking as a content. Like
I'm saying as a person.
I'm saying I think him being straightforward, the way he talks about, like, I think it is more good than bad for the Eagles.
I agree with that. But that doesn't excuse, in my opinion. I mean, I think
he's trying to motivate him. I think that,
and maybe that's the case.
That's my takeaway from that was that he is saying, Adoree, you better play better or else you're not going to get the job. But I think that was what.
Are we sure doing that in the public? Like I say all the time.
Well, it's an old school coaches thing. I mean, that's something that coaches.
But it doesn't mean it's right.
Right. But I don't know. I don't know if it is. Honestly, what I honestly think is I think it depends on the player. I think some players probably respond to it and some don't. It's just like we always talk about where some guys are attaboy guys and some guys are kicking the ass guys. I think there are certain players who are probably like, yo, he called me on public, like bleep that, and I'm going to be awesome. And there are some guys who cower and
but I do think there is a difference between last year when he's like Bryce Huff needs to be better against the run and like being honest about that, right? And getting up there and being like, I didn't really want to sign him. He was a bust in Tennessee. He was a bust with the Giants. Like, I think there's a bit of a difference.
Well, I think he's trying to motivate him, but I think the real takeaway is I don't think Adoree Jackson is going to play much on this defense. He might not even make the team.
Or obviously if he plays, it's not going to be because like it'll be because Keely is bad. Now he might not like Keely either. We've always said we don't
might be the spy. Yeah. But look, I think he's trying to motivate Adoree Jackson with those comments. Maybe he went too far. I don't particularly have a problem with it. Like these are football players.
Well, it's just
like
one thing that strikes me.
You got paid a lot of money. Like it doesn't bother. I get your point, but like the rude part of it doesn't bother me at all. Like be rude to these guys. It's fine. Okay. You're their coach.
So I get that, but twofold. One, we work with a lot of guys that played for Andy Reid. And one thing they bring up a lot is how much they appreciated Andy.
Well, that's Nick's job. The point is, I think Nick can play good cop while Vic plays bad cop.
Yeah.
And I think that's a age-old way of working. Fair. Like that works, man.
It just if we want to go another level on this.
Because Andy is not like it'd be like what Jim Johnson spoke probably about.
It just is interesting that on the offensive side of the ball, where like they play really hard for Nick, they all get along. Nick never sells anybody at the podium. Like right? We praise him for that. And then on the defensive side, it seems like it's
just different styles.
no one talks to Vic. Like every player you talk to, it's like, I don't really talk to Vic much.
But they all love him. And they all
I don't
fight
know if
for
they
him.
all love
Well, they did
him.
last year.
Yeah, well, because they won.
Yeah, but they not just that. They played for him.
But that's
they played for him. They did what he told them to do. They played for him.
Right.
They won because they played for him.
That's kind of my problem, though, a little bit with it is like when the Eagles were 9-7 the first year, they were 1-4, and Nick said the flower comment thing. We were all like, well, not all, but you could tell they like Nick. So despite the results not being great, the process was good. I just wonder if the process on the defensive side of the ball is a good one, and we're just it's being masked because they got good results.
No, I get your point, but I think the good results show that the process worked. Like he took young players, all these, and the Zach Bond thing and all that stuff. So like it worked. Like,
agreed.
So I just don't, and I think the players who it worked for, like you hear Zach Bond, he glows about Vic Fangio. You hear Cooper DeJean talk about it. He loves it. Like the guys who buy in, the guys who it works for, they love the guy.
But I think it's easy to love him when you're an all-pro, when you're the number one defense, when you win the Super Bowl. Like my concern is, what if we get to week 8 here and things aren't going great?
Again, I think this is why they bring the guys in. They bring in players who are accountable. They bring in guys who love football. They bring guys that's why they bring in winners. That's why they bring in guys from Georgia and Alabama and stuff. Now, like I think it's a culture thing, and I think that this culture can handle Vic being a little tough with them.
Maybe. I mean, we'll find out because the Adoree thing's a good first test. Like, how's Adoree going to respond to
But he did it last year. Bryce Huff, how'd it work out?
Not as, in my opinion, not as critical and personal as he was with Adoree. I just think there's a difference. There's a difference between being like, he needs to get better against the run and being like, the Titans didn't re-sign you, the Giants didn't re-sign you.
Facts. Like he's trying to, that's a way to motivate guys. Like, look, bro, you underperformed in Tennessee. You underperformed in New York. This is your chance to not underperform. Like, I think that's fair.
I would also say, I don't know if he underperformed in Tennessee. He got a huge contract as a free agent. Like, imagine if Adoree stepped up there and went, yeah, well, Vic got fired as a head coach and the Dolphins got rid of him. So maybe it's time for, like, I don't think we would support that. So
I just, this Vic, it doesn't bother me. I think you take Vic for who he is. You know what I mean?
Agreed. There's good and bad with Vic.
Yeah.
Mostly good.
I just don't think it's
large.
I'm fine with this. I think especially with Nick and the love him up, and I know Nick has a tough side and all that, but there is a very like family, whatever. I think having a hard ass in there is a good thing as a way to kind of counterbalance.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. I just thought he went a step too far, in my opinion.
Maybe,
but I'm not a Super Bowl winning team, and I'm a sensitive guy, so for sure, like that is definitely part of it.
Yeah. Are you got anything else from practice before we get to final thoughts?
No, not really. I mean, Jihad's been awesome, but we've talked about that.
Yeah, we've talked about it, but it seems like that's like the. Yeah, you're not the only one.
Yes, he's super. He's been very impressive. I think he'll start week 1. Trade for a safety, which we've talked about. Like they've got to go get a safety. I don't think you can start Sidney Brown week 1 and feel good about that.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to final thoughts.
Okay, so
the much hyped up final thoughts. I'm like even nervous even say mine because it's like so ridiculous.
Wow. Good thing we're not live.
Mine's one of the more written. I'm not really. I'm just saying mine's very ridiculous.
Okay, so
and aggressive.
We on our vacation. So me and Kristen like to fall asleep to something, whether it's a podcast or a TV show or a movie. And overseas, the stuff that's on TV is different than over here, even like in Netflix, right? So long story short, we watched The Truman Show a lot when we were overseas. We fell asleep to it.
You watch it a lot. Oh, wow. Really?
Well, like, when we put on, we fell asleep.
Gotcha.
Like, it was right. So I was thinking about
you
this.
Have to have something.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and we preface this by saying, I think in the real world, right, you should absolutely teach children everything that's happened in history. Like in the real world, I am definitely like, what has happened, you should teach them. But in the Truman Show world, do you think they taught Truman in school, like about the bad things in the world that had happened? Like, do you think they taught him about wars and like,
I think they probably tried to keep it as real as possible just because you've got all these actors there who have to, like, if he asks a you'd have to teach all these actors what he learned as opposed to real history. I think you try and keep it as real for Truman.
And do you think that's the right decision with someone like Truman? Like when he's in a contained world, like I think
you should definitely talk about the bad. You don't want him to this whitewash for, if he does ever get out of there, you don't want him to go to this world where.
So that's a good point. That
where he's like, oh my God, there's evil in the world. What do I do?
But so I agree if he gets out, you're right. But in the reason
they don't want him to get out.
The reason in the real world you should learn about this stuff is because it's important and it's context, and you are in the real world. Truman lives in a controlled environment, so in theory, he doesn't have to worry about bad things happening to him. Like Truman is never going to be in danger that they don't put him in.
Yeah, I know, but you want Truman to like live a human life, even though it is a sterilized whatever. And that's humanity. Like you want him to understand good and bad. You want him to just live in this whitewashed world where everything's good and there's nothing bad. And there's no, I mean, would you? I don't know. I mean, it's a different thing. I mean, what are you trying to achieve with Truman?
And then there's a difference obviously between living in a controlled environment and not, but like, I don't know. I'd just be curious to know in school if they taught, because they do say in the movie that they taught him in school that like everything was discovered, so he didn't have a desire to leave. So clearly they
lied a little.
Clearly
bit,
they shaped what he learned as a kid to keep him.
See, I haven't watched a movie close enough to.
But it's super interesting to me to think about. They probably had, and again, not a real thing, but like meetings being like, all right, are we going to teach Truman about like some of the worst things in like, the Holocaust and like just things that have happened that are obviously terrible. Do we want to tell him about those when he doesn't in theory really have to know about them? Like in the real world, we have to know about him, but in the Truman world, he doesn't in theory have to know about bad things because he's not in danger.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. It's a very interesting hypothetical like question. I don't know.
I guess ultimately I would, right? If I was like the director, but I don't know. I think it's like I thought it was interesting.
No, I think it is interesting. That's pretty good. All right. Mine is less interesting and more just weird.
Okay.
So I'm watching Cool Hand Luke this weekend.
Don't know what that is.
You ever heard of it?
No.
And it's pretty famous.
Is it a TV show? I'm guessing it's not a TV show, actually.
Paul Newman. No.
It's a movie with what?
Paul Newman.
Paul Newman, like the guy that makes the salad dressing and the
frozen pizza.
Yes,
really good to me.
You knew that he was a very famous actor, one of the most famous actors of all time.
But I will say, in spirit of honesty, I did not know he was an actor. Like I knew him first for the pasta sauce, and
I get it. Now that was a big deal.
It seems like he. Honestly, I would guess more people know him for that. No, you don't think so?
No. He's one of the most famous actors of all time.
But that sauce is
literally like he was like Tom Cruise famous from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Like,
right,
he's
but
like
most of those people,
no, they're still alive.
But I'm saying, like, if you were born in the 80s or the 90s,
I think you still know Paul Newman as Paul Newman.
I don't think so.
I think there's a lot of people who know him in the salad dressing. I think more people know him as an actor. Tucker, which way do you know Paul Newman?
I didn't know it was the same guy.
Oh, well, there you go.
Wow, you're way out.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think as time has gone on, there are more and more people that know Newman's Own.
Right.
But I think more people still know him as Paul Newman. I think. I could be wrong, because there's still a lot of people my age and above who only think first of Paul Newman.
Right. Yeah, but I think because of your love for movies, you think
no. I think if you were he was that famous. It'd be like
I know he was really famous.
It's like you not knowing who Tom Cruise is. Like that's how famous Paul Newman was as an actor. Literally.
He was in Cars.
The animated movie?
Yeah. Well, he was a voice in Cars because he was he's also a famous car racer, like race cars. He won a race when he was 50. Oh, Paul Newman's one of the most fascinating, interesting figures.
Unfortunately, he passed away, right?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
I love the question in his voice. Anyway, watch Cool and Luke, movie from 1967. Great movie. Would recommend it to everyone. Shockingly sad movie, but and there's this scene. They're in prison, like that's the movie, and they're working on the side of the road, and there's a scene where this woman comes out to wash her car, and it's like meant to be very sexy, as it were, like she's like, do it.
It is funny how that
of the just to get an idea of like it's supposed to be like
funny you have this saved in your phone.
Well, I sent it so I could do it. I took I don't have it saved. I went and found the picture so I could show it.
Right. It is
so.
Yes, right. But it is funny. Real quick, as a society, we decided like women washing cars is like universally considered attractive, like in every movie. It's like oh, we're gonna do a sexy scene.
Bikini car wash.
Exactly.
Now bikini's part of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she's just going for it, and it is sexy. It's very. And I'm watching. I'm like,
he's
wow.
like, it's hot.
I'm like, she's really attractive in the moment, like, and then I'm like,
and then got to save this pic.
And then I stopped. Well, no, I did the pic after so I could show you what it looked like.
Right.
I'm not saving.
I'm kidding. I mean, it's clearly saved.
But here's the point. That kind of gets into a point. Like this movie's from 1967. So I'm watching. I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Like she's probably dead. Like if anything, she's like 90 something years old. It's weird. Like it's a weird thing. I don't ever really think about it, but I'm watching. I'm like, wow, like
yeah.
And then I'm like, wow, that's really weird and inappropriate.
So where I thought of this with in Christmas Vacation,
sure,
the like the woman, the saleswoman.
Oh yeah,
right.
Sure, yeah.
But then also there was a commercial for the Golden Girls. Again, not the not the attractive level, but like. They're probably all dead, right?
It's their
40th anniversary. So they were old when the show was made.
Betty White was the last one.
Yeah.
Now, it's funny too because I watched Some Like It Hot last weekend,
It is funny. I brought the Golden Girls.
classic
But yeah,
1959 movie.
Yeah.
But that is Marilyn Monroe in it. And I never got the
Wow, what year was that movie?
1959.
Wow.
Marilyn Monroe is the most beautiful woman ever. Like I didn't, and I had seen something like that when I was young. I came back,
Right.
like she like is effervescent. She like leaps off the screen. But even then, when I'm watching her, I didn't think about. I was just like, it wasn't. But then I'm watching this scene because I think it's meant to be so sexual,
Right.
and I was thinking like how weird it is
Man.
to think about someone who's dead and be like, wow, she's hot.
You love old movies.
I do.
yeah,
I love movies.
yeah. No,
Some
I
of
know
the
you
movies
do.
were
Say
made
old
in the
ladies.
50s, 60s, and
Oh,
70s.
it's, you
Well,
know.
in this case, I guess I do. I just
Right.
I love them when they weren't old in the moment, but they
Right.
are now. It's weird.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. I think
It's a weird phenomenon.
Spike made this point to me before. How like when you hear a laugh track, like
Oh yeah.
I don't know if they record new laugh tracks, so a lot of laugh tracks could be recorded.
They don't really use.
They don't
laugh
use them
tracks
as much anymore.
Yeah, very.
In
few
retrospect,
shows
those
use-
were very annoying.
Oh, dude. Well, that's one of the things. It's one of those things where once you become aware of the
it's
laugh track,
every 10
it
seconds.
ruins everything. Like the jokes aren't nothing. Like
They do it on Friends, right? Like,
yeah. It ruins the show once you
Agreed.
realize the laugh track is there. Once you like step out and realize, oh, it's a laugh track. You're like, it ruins it. It
like
really
The
does.
Office. Honestly, one of the things I like the most about The
It
Office is there's no laugh track.
I know.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. This was fun.
Go Birds Radio.
Saturday.
Yeah.
1 to 3. I've already talked to I know for a fact our guy Tommy's going to be there. I know Drew's calling in. Chris knows
Tommy is calling in.
Tom from Abington.
Oh,
will be
okay.
there.
I thought you meant neighbor
I'm
Tommy.
saying I have. Oh no, good point. But
Yeah.
no, Tom from Abington, Drew from Westchester, Chris in Ocean
Yeah, we're
City.
back.
Already confirmed they're calling in. If you're one of our real ones, regulars, like Saturday 1 to 3
So much
in
to talk
studio.
about.
I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. So check in on that. And then otherwise, just keep on rolling through training camp.
Amen.
Amen, brother.
Day 6 and 7.
There it is.
Coming up.
Until then, he's Item Jay.